Um, do you think there is a difference between submission and cooperation?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I asked that is because it stemmed from a conversation that my husband and I were having before. And that stemmed from all of the stuff that was going on in the chat and how men are saying they want women to be fit, feminine, submissive, and blah, 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 blah. And so I had specifically asked him about the submission part. And he, I mentioned before, he said that he didn't want someone that was submissive. He wanted someone that was cooperative. And I remember reading something that said, well, somebody has said, well, that's the same thing. And I think that's where we get it wrong is that, I mean, you're using it interchangeably, but it is not the same thing. So I wanted to know your opinions. Do you feel like being submissive and being cooperative is the same thing? Or if there's a difference, what is the difference?
I
I
think
think it's
some people
different.
just so stuck on submission as if it's just such a negative thing. Like, why are we so triggered by one word? I do think personally think they go hand in hand.
They are different though. They are different. One
I
is
mean, I understand there's two totally different definitions for them,
yeah.
but I'm saying, why is it that women mostly are so triggered by submission? Like, why do you feel like you're gonna lose a part of you because you submit to a man?
Right. If you, I feel like this. If you can't submit to him, or you, then that's probably just not the man that you should even be with. That's my personal. But cooperate. I understand from so the difference. One is look at a superior. You're submitting to a person. The I call him the leader of the household. Whereas cooperative is like you guys may be partners on the same level, but you're cooperative. Is that how you take it? You're taking it mistaken.
Yeah, I think for me, my mindset is the submissive part is in order to submit someone, you have to be up under someone. And I know people talking about the covering and all of that kind of stuff. So I understand that part, but again, it's the position, the position thing. And I think sometimes why women have such a hard time with that wording and with that is because the word itself means something is under someone else, right?
Don't you want to
And
be under him?
um depends on hey, um
Be under him ain't so bad.
but and I think in that regard a lot of times it has the actions of that word have been abused, right? In terms of a lot of men taking that word meaning to be, you be whatever I want you to be, right? I whatever I say goes. I don't want you to have any input. I'm the head, you just listen, right? I think a lot of men have abused submission in that way, and I think that's why a lot of women are not wanting to be under submission of a man, right? um
Are you talking about like YouTube people making it out to be something
no,
that
I
is
mean
not?
in general, just in general, from what I have witnessed myself and from what I've heard, especially from like older generations of what that meant and how I guess it was kind of exploited where the man did whatever he wanted and a woman had no say so about it, right? Um,
So that's
so
like slave.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a different type of I think that if
right.
we're talking about modern day submit, I don't think that men are talking about back in the day.
Well, that's what I'm trying to
I,
say. I think that historical remembrance of that is why a lot of modern women don't want to be associated with it. I think cooperative for me, I was surprised that my husband said he prefer a woman that's cooperative, only because I assumed that he was more of a traditional thinker in that mindset. And his take on it is I just really want somebody who's willing to work with me. I don't want to have to be directing and telling everybody what to do. I need a woman who knows how to think, for themselves, who will be able to challenge me, in certain things. Iron sharpens iron. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I just think there's a difference between cooperation and submission, but I kind of wanted to get y'all thoughts on that as well.
So according to this definition that I have here, where it's like going by like coaching styles, where it's saying the submissive style is one where the individual makes few decisions, provides minimal guidance, and rarely provides discipline. And cooperative is a flexible style that attempts to empower by sharing decision making. So if I were to like maybe go off that, I would say as a woman, I would want to, I would like to be in a space that occupies both submissive and cooperative, because for me, I don't want to make every single decision. I don't want to have to be in the driver's seat all the time. I don't want to have to always lead. And for me to be able to submit to my man, I have to trust that you can lead me, you can lead the household, and I trust that you've got this part of the 360 taken care of, and you trust that I have this part of the 360 taken care of. And so for me, that's kind of where the empowering comes from, where, mistaken to your point, iron sharpens iron, where it's like, okay, I've got my role and I play my role and I hold my role down, and you've got your role and you play your role and hold your role down. So I would say I would, like to stand on the border of both.
I love that, Della. And I think that the Miss Parker made a good point here. Miss Parker with these points, honey, showing up tonight. This is so true. I think the problem is men think that, I know men have a problem with thinking that women will be submissive, but that's because they think that women are supposed to be submissive to just any man. We're talking about husbands. You should not just be out here submitting to every man. Mm-mm. You should not. That was old girl's problem with the 7 months.
Was misled, honey.
Your husband, you submit to your husband. Okay? That's it.